What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chucky from Chook Earth Media, and today we're just going to do a brief first impressions of Halo Infinite campaign so far. I put about 6 or 7 hours in, and I like to play games where I do all the side content first. That's how I played the Witcher games, do all the side quests first, and then the absolute last thing is doing the main quest. So that's just how I'm playing it right now. So I've only done, you start off the game. You have a few story missions to introduce you to the world, the story, the characters, the atmosphere. You get introduced to all that, and then they drop you in the open world, and at that point, it's giving you each section of the open world. So it's not the whole thing at once, thankfully. So it gives it to you in chunks. I've done one mission since getting dropped in the open world, and then another section, larger section of the open world was available to me, and I've just been doing the side content. So I will just say right off the bat, I was kind of concerned about the open world element, and I'll just be honest, I'm not really all that enthusiastic about it. I love the shooting, the gunplay, the weapons selection, the equipment is amazing. I love the grapple shot. I was afraid it was going to be like multiplayer where you have to pick up the grapples and you only have a certain amount and all of that, but that's not how it works at all. It just respawns over time. But what you're wandering the open world for is it's very Far Cry-ish. There's strongholds, there's fobs, which are like places that you can take over, and then you can use them to get weapons drops and vehicle drops. Using the vehicles is fun, but honestly, I just ended up using the grapple most of the time because there's a lot of mountains, and I didn't want to spend the time to try to figure out how do I get to the path to drive up the mountain. I was doing the Skyrim thing where I was just grapple, whoop, go up the mountain. I couldn't be bothered to try to find the proper way up the mountain. Anyone who plays Skyrim knows you press that Y button a lot. You press that Y button on the controller quite often, or spacebar or whatever. You gotta get up to the top of the hill as fast as you can, and I can't be fucked to go around the other way. I just can't. So, the open world stuff, I'm really not all that enthusiastic about it. I mean, the one good thing is Halo has always been great at giving you a wider battlefield and letting you decide how to approach it. Halo 3 campaign was probably the best example of this in the series. You'd get some wider, and Reach as well, you get some wider open areas, and you get to decide how to approach this scenario. You get vehicles, you get various weapons, you get a lot of different techniques you can use to approach any given situation, and I really enjoy that aspect of the series, and of course the open world is very well suited to that. There's the strongholds are probably the most fun part in terms of the content you can just find out in the world. There's vehicles there, there's weapons there. It's very difficult. There's a lot of enemies to deal with in these wide open areas. So I do like that element of it. The open world aspect definitely feeds into that. However, so far the missions are the most interesting part, and if the game was only just those linear missions, I would be fine with it. What we're searching for in the open world, we're searching for upgrade points, and you use this to upgrade your shields and your equipment. So your grapple, you can make it have a stun effect, you can make it respawn faster, you can make it have like a devastating melee attack, you eventually get a threat sensor, which is the same as in the multiplayer, which I really enjoy. We might do a separate video about the multiplayer. It has a lot of issues right now. We probably will make a separate video about it. The equipment points you unlock, that's fine, I guess. I mean, you need to have something in the open world, and it's okay to have a progression system. I'm fine with that. And if you're gonna do the open world thing, that's fine. But then they have points like propaganda towers for you to destroy. It's kind of funny to hear some of the dialogue, but it's like, it's whatever. It's a thing that's there. You destroy it, and you get some Valor points, which is what you use to get different weapon drops at the fobs. But honestly, I'm not really using the fobs all that much, except to get vehicles. And the vehicles are just to go places faster. So I'm really not... I don't really feel the need to unlock things, although I do want to get some flying vehicles. That would be nice. You get some flying stuff, you get across the map a little faster, and get to higher areas easier. So that's the only thing I really care about unlocking is getting flying vehicles. So I do need to get the Valor points to get to that point. So that's the only thing I really care about unlocking, to be honest. But the other points on the map, I mean, you got, UNSC soldiers that you can free, and they can follow you around. You can drive around with them, use them for your turrets, and all it's fine, but it's not anything that really stands out. And the open world is beautiful. It looks great. Graphics great. I like the way it's laid out. I like the wildlife in it and the attention to detail there. But in general, it's just like you just go to a point on the map, you do the thing, you go to the next point on the map. I don't know, not really all that crazy about it. I do like that there's, there's multiplayer cosmetic items in the campaign. That is cool. That's probably the unlocks I care the most about, honestly, because I like the multiplayer a lot, and I do believe I'll be playing quite a bit of it. So I like that. Now let's get to the story. So the story I had some concerns about because each Halo game made by Bungie, Halo 1, 2, and 3, each one added so much to the lore. They expanded the universe. They really gave you new things to chew on. Every game felt new. There was new things in it. The 4 and 5, they tried to do new stuff too. I wasn't as enthusiastic about it for a variety of reasons, but just moving past that now. Reach, didn't really have much new in it, but we're just simplifying it here. I will say, so far this game isn't really doing a lot for me in that department. I'm not really seeing much in the name of new lore. I mean, we got the Banished instead of the Covenant, so they are not the Covenant. They are anti-Prophet, and some of their rhetoric is kind of interesting to hear. Here we get little bits of their reasoning behind what they're doing. Now I'm still early in the game, so I don't know. We'll do my full review later, and it will be focused on pretty much just the story elements. So maybe we'll find out more. But as of right now, to me, at this point of the game that I'm at, it's the same enemies. We're just facing the same. It's not the Covenant, but it still is the Covenant. And that's the thing. We have this new AI who I was worried about. In the trailers they made her look really ditzy, like she was some kind of comic relief. So far, it's really not. It's not that bad. It's fine. I actually like her just fine. But really, I mean, it's the same voice actor as Cortana. It feels like it's Cortana, but it's not Cortana. In the same way, the Banished, it's the Covenant, but it's not the Covenant. So it really, I mean, it's not really doing much for me either. And overall, the dialogue, I think we can thank the MCU for this, but it really feels like they have a joke quota. In Halo games, it's like a couple jokes here and there is great. Pepper it in, make it more interesting, that's fine. But I think they're a little too focused on the jokes. I don't know. We'll see if that gets better or worse later on. But I will say, character-wise, the pilot guy who wakes you up, I love the opening scene, by the way. The opening scene is excellent. Having the pilot there, finding Master Chief and all that. And there's this opening cutscene that you get. It's like the CGI battle scene. And that's cool, but every time I see one of these CGI battle scenes, I'm like, why am I not fighting right now? But it's cool, they set up the mystery or whatever. This guy, Atriox, who used to run the Banished, he dies in the opening cutscene. I don't know if this was a character in the lore before. I think he was in Halo Wars 2, maybe, which I haven't played yet. I do plan on playing it, but I haven't played it yet. But I guess he's in that, and now he's dead. I don't know. That's not significant to me. Maybe he's not dead. Maybe he comes back later. Like I said, I'm not far in it yet. To get back to my point, the pilot guy, I really don't like him. He started off great. I mean, they do a great job of setting him up. They introduce his family in this hologram thing. Do this thing where they show the time that has passed. They show him, with the buzz cut stuff, and then it's him with his hair grown out later, showing the passage of time. Love that. But then it's like, he's just complaining all the time. He's like, we gotta go home, we gotta go home, we gotta go home, we gotta go home. It's like, dude, there's people down there that need our help. And not only that, but apparently the Banished are dead set on wiping out humanity. Can we put a pause on being, fucking scared little bitch, please. You signed up for the military. You have family to fight for. Like, you don't want them to die, right? We have to win. So I get a little annoyed by it. Maybe a little bit of his anxiety would be great, you know, to show the human aspect, but just constant bitching, dude. And it's just like, Master Chief's like, we have to go down there. We have to do this thing, and we have to do that. And it's like, yeah, of course. And he's the chief. He's in charge, right? He's giving the orders, and this guy's just fucking complaining all the time. Dude, I swear he's probably going to go AWOL at some point, and I would have no sympathy for him. I would hope he die after... I don't like him. I'm annoyed by him. I don't know if anybody else feels that way or not. But I know I do. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's just my first impressions of the story. We'll get deeper into it as we go. I will say the banished villains that we got, I like the dialogue, and the acting is good. Cutscenes are good, but they seem a little generic at this point. Maybe that'll change as time goes on. But these are just my first impressions. So I will say, cutscene-wise, really love the return to real-time cutscenes. It's not CGI cutscenes after that opening one. Maybe there's more CGI later, but we get real-time cutscenes. I love real-time cutscenes. That's why I love video games, man. I want to see what my video card and computer can really do. I want to stretch the limits of it, you know, and that's what this game is doing for me. So I like the real-time cutscene aspect. But yeah, that's just my opinions on the game so far. Only a few hours in. I'm trying to do all the side content, so I'll let you guys know when I finish it, my full review. And I hope to see you guys for that video. Sub for more videos. Hit that like button if you like. And definitely let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hope to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, everybody.